Welcome to the weekend show with Mediumjay. Today, I'll tell you the story about how me and 99 niggas fought a gorilla. Now, a lot of motherfuckers out there gonna be like, Jay making shit up. Oh, Jay, stop it. Come on. 100 motherfuckers. You don't even know 100 people, Jay. You know, ain't no way you're gonna be able to collectively get all of these guys together and fight the fucking gorilla. He's an apex predator, Jay. You'd get mauled to death. Shut the fuck up, alright? Shut the fuck up, alright? For real. First off, 100. We're talking 100 men. For all the doubters out there. You're talking 100 fucking men, all right? 100 people. Do you not realize how much 100? A lot of people don't even understand how much 100 people really. You could build a fucking pyramids of 100 people. Running 100 motherfuckers can take over a fucking government, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure the top 1% is literally secretly just 100 people. You know what I mean? And they're looking after their families and shit like that. You know what I mean? Think about it. Take 100 quarters, just throw them on the ground and try picking that up. You know what I mean? After you pick up, after a certain point, you just be like, yo, this is fucking work. It's fucking work to pick up these fucking quarters. So, 100 guys can eat. If 100 guys equally get tired bending down and picking up something 100 times, it transfers over. The gorilla's not some. If the gorilla doesn't have Thanos' glove on, right? Let's be real. The gorilla doesn't have fucking all of these, hidden superpowers, right? I mean, a motherfucker, I don't know, maybe he climbs trees. You don't see the gorillas in a cage doing the most sporadic shit. They kind of just like sprinters. They move real fast for 60 yards, and then they walk around the enclosure like it ain't shit, right? Now, this gorilla ain't fucking King Kong, man. I don't know why y'all niggas be gassing up this fucking gorilla, man. Yeah, y'all watch too many movies, bro. This is one fucking ape, right? You gotta recognize this one ape. This one ape ain't got shit on mankind, you feel me? And it's like, bro, we ain't taking, these dudes off the couch, first off. We're getting solid in shape motherfuckers. I'm probably like the fucking cut point, right? Anyone less than me, you know what I mean? You go into the gym 3 to 4 times a day, you okay, on the weekend you had a pizza, but most of the time your shit's clean. You fill your body up with actual good shit. Not taking motherfuckers with their feet up on the couch, you're playing video games all day, fucking eating chips and shit, you know what I mean? Just dudes that don't get out. We're not taking fucking, and here's the thing, we're not taking dudes that want to be women. We're not taking, no offense, this is no offense, but we're fighting a gorilla. You know what I mean? We can't take the motherfuckers that might chip their nails. When we didn't, it's 100 men. There's clearly men. And, we ain't taking fatties or trannies, all right? We're not taking these weak men, all right? You know what I'm saying? We got nothing but the best, right? You know what I'm saying? Nothing but the best type shit. You know what I'm saying? We fucking we're talking the Rocks, the Brock Lesnars, the Jason Momoas. Giant men that can throw hands. We're getting these big guys that can fight, right? We just a whole bunch of fucking, whole bunch of UFC motherfuckers, whole bunch of WWE dudes, whole bunch of fucking boxers, wrestlers, talking these fighters, man. Talking Alex Pereiras, talking the Bones Joneses, the Francis Ngannous of the world, right? We took 6 months, we rounded up the top physical men in the world, right? 6 months, trained at mountain heights, at high altitudes, high octaves. We're talking reflex training. We did all of that. We ran the gauntlet. We even fought, we put gloves on multiple animals. in anticipation for our bout, right? We rolled around with tigers, lions, bears. Oh my. But sadly, all our training, all the things that we went through, we even got a fucking we programmed an AI bot to be Mr. Miyagi and teach us the values of washing a car. All of that was to no avail because unfortunately the gorilla had 6 months of training. That the wild silverback gorilla had a structured, well-to-do plan of guerrilla warfare, right? Urban guerrilla warfare. This gorilla was, on the other hand, been training in the gym, sparring. While we were wrestling animals in the wild, this gorilla put on, gloves and trained in ways to well. He trained in fitness clubs all across America. Some of the best high level training athletes. You know what I mean? I don't know where this gorilla got the money to do this. You know what I mean? In his fight camp, he was sponsored by Big Ape. It's just crazy. It's insane. The gorilla got proper techniques on how to lift. He studied breath work, right? And he even perfected ground game. He's you know what I mean? Because most gorillas, they're all fucking top. They're all top. All top. You know what I mean? They get you to the ground and pound. But they don't know much about what to do on their back, right? It's the chimpanzees that are great structurally for arm bars and Brazilian jiu-jitsu because they have the long, lengthy arms. The gorillas are big and heavy. They're top heavy, right? So the after 6 months, this gorilla left. He left his training camp with a fucking Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. So the day was April 28th. The day of reckoning. Where mankind would prove its dominance in this world by rising up to the occasion and essentially jumping a big monkey. We're talking 100 niggas deep, people. Our squad ate clean. We pissed clean. You know what I'm saying? And looked clean, too. We were fresh as fuck. Motherfuckers would rock. These men, all, the whole army. 100 battalion soldiers. All stretched out, outfitted with bathing apes clothing and apparel, right? To symbol the bathe in the ape's blood. You know what I'm saying? We were fresh as fuck. I mean, we look good, right? Look good, colorful, very colorful. You could spot us terrible in terms of cloaking. We didn't have much camo to work with. It was all like that colorful camo that usually, with Bathing Apes. For the people that don't know, Bathing Apes was a clothing company that's, I guess, started around the time when Obey and Supreme were really insanely popular. It was around that time Bathing Apes was a part of that early 2000s swag. It was the swag kind. It was what rappers that said swag would wear back in the day, and back when swag. It started off with stuff we all get, right? Swag, like it's like a swag bag, but for whatever reason, it was like it became an onomatopoeia for most rappers, claiming that they have a swagger, a bravado about them, right? You know what? I think that acronym actually that I read on the internet actually just might have been some losers trying to coin that term, because swagger was a word that was. Either way, get back onto it. Before we begin, right? I have to state, we were in a giant field, right? Big field. Far as the eye can see, it's just field. It's a field of dreams, hopes, ambition. The fate of human perseverance rested on this day, April 28th. Also, just so happened to be the day that me and Fresh Prince released a song, Cash Leader's Fresh Prince, featuring Fresh Prince, Superfly, dropped on April 28th. Go check that out now. It's available everywhere. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, Hulu, Disney Plus, wherever you can get your local music. Make sure you support local music. I'm local. I'm not big corp or music. Either way. This is a big field, people. And a lot is riding on this, you know. The gorilla, one gorilla to the left, 100 men to the right, along with wives, you know, the wives and the children cheering them on as they watched in anticipation, as well as countless fans cheering for humanity, wanting to see us conquer our biggest task yet. There was also a wide variety of primates also in the stands cheering for the gorilla, as well as the gorilla's wife and kids, right? And his side, the gorilla was, you know, it was an open relationship. But the two don't sit together, right? The two women that he's been, his wife and his side bitch. Well, it's his girlfriend, but unknowing to them, this wife and the gorilla's wife and the gorilla's side chick, he also had, or the gorilla's wife and the girlfriend that they you know, they both know about each other. He also had a side girl that didn't know either of them and doesn't know about her, and those two don't know about her, but the kids know, right? The baby gorillas know. They know. They've seen her coming around when, you know, mom and girlfriend ain't home. Mom and stepmom ain't home, baby. Either way, the gorilla's putting his life on the line. He's an alpha male gorilla, right? He's a silverback, big buck. He's big, as best as you could breed him, right? One that he's the type that stands up and volunteers for fighting 100 men, right? Okay. People place their bets. This was big, you know, and it was the bets were in favor of the gorilla, right? Like, humanity is doomed, right? Doomers mentality, motherfuckers that most motherfuckers just sit at home, you know, type on a screen. You're watching a screen. You're doing a screen. Essentially, I know, because motherfucker, you're listening to me. I'm on a screen right now. Right now, I'm digitally trapped in your screen, forever in a pixelated time zone, right? I'm warped in this. I'm stuck. Help me, I'm dead. Thousands of years from now, this will still be existing as me. Help. I'm dead, right? My soul is captured in this, right? Just much like the souls of all the men that fought countless wars flood this battlefield, right? Now, before we begin, Bruce Buffer announced the gorilla and the 100 men, which was crazy. He listed off every single man's name, full name. Gave a full the birth certificate name. In his wild pitched yell, right? Crazy, didn't even run out of breath, man. Didn't mispronounce one person's name. He said everybody to their inflections and how they're all properly pronounced, right? His suit, no joke, was bananas, man. I know, seriously. His suit was like there had little bananas on it. It was a fucking teal, you know what I mean? Blue teal. With the yellow banana pop, you know what I mean? Sponsored by Bathin' Apes, right? He had the Bathin' Apes suit, right? He came clean, and the little bananas were like sparkling, like there's rubies in each of the bananas, man. Ruby diamonds, right? Crazy, yellow rubies. It's just crazy. I had never seen yellow rubies before, but I mean, Bruce Buffer pulls it off, right? Anyways, suit was amazing. The referee offered to touch everyone, you know what I mean? You know, touch gloves, but it was touch hands, because motherfucker, you can't put a gorilla in gloves, and we're not wearing gloves. This is, you know what I mean? So, said touch hands, and the gorilla, you know, to everyone's surprise, you know, after mean mugging us, and he hasn't said a word. In the press conference, he hasn't said a word. Motherfucker, and here, it was a long press conference too, right? Crazily long press conference where essentially the gorilla just was beating his chest, you know what I mean? They fed him bananas throughout. Wasn't even on a fast at the weigh-in. He was eating bananas, man. Crazy. He came in at 625 pounds, which, and then I think everyone collectively came in at 1.3 million pounds or something like that. I don't know. Wait, 100 people. It was about. It was a bunch of numbers on the, after about 100. I tend to just imagine it as infinity, right? I'm not good with after seeing large amounts of numbers. Either way, the press conference was crazy, right? Joe Rogan was there, right? He was announcing it, right? There was a translator for the gorilla, right? The gorilla did a couple signs, but essentially it was just saying like I'm hungry, and he was doing this a lot. He was like, let's wrap it up, circling his fingers like let's wrap it up type shit, right? He didn't give a fuck. This gorilla did not give a fuck, right? He came in with a chain too, right? Chain that he broke because it was actually in chains, but then he started wearing it. He put a giant fucking fist, gorilla fist, in the air. And a lot of motherfuckers were saying he was culturally appropriating black culture, right? A lot of motherfuckers were saying that. Me personally, I was like, this chain looks fucking amazing. Even if it's marked as racist, you know, the liberals will hate it or whatever. You know what I mean? The fucking liberals, fucking libs. You know, they were, you know, giant. I was like, this monkey fist is amazing. It's like the monkey fist, right? It's the monkey's paw in a chain with a fist. You know what I mean? In a fist formation. Like you got all your wishes, baby. Either way. He was fresh as fuck, didn't say much. But here's the thing. Everybody talked, right? And out of 100 men, the message got muffled, right? The message, you know, it's like telephone. You know what I mean? We're all saying, you know, the first 10 guys are great, right? Then we started getting worried. Motherfuckers started repeating themselves and wanted to change the narrative, wanted to inspire, but the motherfuckers just, you know, and some guys can't get on the mic and just go, yeah, I mean, we're just doing one brave. Motherfuckers started quoting one small step for man, one giant fist to hit in but the monkey's brain, and it just didn't hit the same like most fucking, you know, one-on-one press conferences go, right? Motherfuckers, you know what I mean? It was we had to take multiple intermissions, took at least the span of 3 days to get through all these motherfuckers running the mic that's hot. These are the first motherfucking fighters that to get into to get on live, you know what I mean, live national, it's news at this point, everybody's seen it on April, but before the fights. Either way, I digress. We get to the fucking main event. This is the fight we've all been waiting for. Nerves have no play. Nerves have nothing. They have no say in this. Boom! You know, the referee hits the gong. You know, fucking ear deafening, you know, rhythmic gong. Bang, banged gong, flowing through the fucking field, right? Everybody, you know, kids in the stands are holding their mothers tightly, you know what I mean? The dads, you know, the soccer dads, you know what I mean? The dads of the, you know, fight dads are just pounding back fucking Bud Lights and you know, light, you know, Coors Light. And you know, there's a couple black guys in there, you know, down in some Heinekens, right? Not light, because you know, statistically, you know, most African Americans don't care about their health, and personally, that's a problem. I think we should, you know, try our best. You know what I mean? As a black person, motherfucker, it is what it is. I was a black guy. It is what it is. We're fighting oppression. buying a pizza, man. It's shit's stupid. A lot of y'all niggas, you know what I mean? We could rise up and fight that. We can get that monkey off our back. Figuratively and literally, because we'll go into it. The festivities began. You know what I mean? We put our lightweight division. We put, the fucking... These guys were about 200, 220 lightweight motherfuckers. That's light. I don't know if it's lightweight, light heavyweight, but it was. I call it lightweight because we got into some big motherfuckers, some dudes that, you know what I mean. They pissed clean, but we looked at them and we said how. Right? We got the Brock Lesnar's in the back. Right? We're like, how did you piss clean? Right? Like what? Motherfucker he went to space to get his juice. You know what I'm saying? But either way. We start off with a lightweight division. We send in the front lines. It's a lot of these little Mexicans, right? They're used in the front lines, and used in an effort to fucking dial in, lock in, speed, agility. You know what I mean? Just a flurry of just hit them with a flurry of punches, right? And kicks. You know what I'm saying? To tire this motherfucker out. This was the plan, right? They were trained in the ancient art of Mexican bean fighting, right? Not to be confused with beaner fighting, which involves usage of a butterfly knife, which definitely was not permitted. We're just allowed to use fists. But anyways, these guys are trained to circle him, provide a flurry of rapid kicks and explosive elbows to the gorilla, and then him becoming overwhelmed, and we just keep tagging him in. Tag motherfuckers out, hop in, just keep, switch, right? Stick and move. That was the plan. And on paper, it looks amazing. On paper, you know what I mean? Everything goes correct. But that's on paper. And this is in the field with a gorilla, right? A fucking big gorilla, man. This one little guy came running up, right? Luchador mask on and everything, right? Like, he's like... He even, while he was running up, he pointed out into the crowd his son. His son's 6 years old, right? Son, with the grandma, because his mom died in a Mexican cartel shootout. She was a stray. The bullet hit a stray, right? He's with his grandma, and he points out to his son, right? I don't mean to laugh, but I mean it's hilarious because what happens next? He points out to his son. Pumps, pounds his chest, gives the heart sign while he's still running. Right? He fucking he shimmies, turns. There's a guy kneeling on the ground, right? In a weird thinking man pose, right? And we're going like we're watching in the back, going, what the fuck did these guys plan, right? Fucking rolls over this guy's back, so now they're back to back while the guy's in a hunched over position. He fucking jumps up, the guy propels his fucking hips forward. He gets 9 feet in the air towards this gorilla, right? And we're sitting back going, this is insane, right? This is humanity at its finest, right? Aerodynamically, I didn't understand how that really transpired, but he's fucking flying through the air, right? You know what I mean? As he floated through the air, we watched in amazement as he pumped his legs up, going to kick the ape in the side of the head. The gorilla caught him, right? Caught him with one hand. Caught both his feet in one palm. Grabbed the little Mexican. Slammed him so hard, we literally watched him turn to liquid. No bones, no flesh. There was no remains of his clothes even. His mask just sat there in a pool of blood. Just his mask, right? And I looked off into the distance to see his son. And the son that he just shouted out. Said, Daddy loves you. He took the first hit. Nothing but red mist left, right? Just might as well, he just disappeared off the face of the earth. There's no fingerprints to identify the body. There's no teeth. There's no dental records. It's just mist. He hit him. The gorilla hit him so hard his clothes flew off. He disappeared. His clothes. The nigga went into the back rooms essentially. He fucking glitched out of this life. He doesn't exist anymore, right? Now, everyone is shocked. Jaws dropped all the 100 guys on the field, including me. I was there too, myself. I was on the field. I was in amazement. This was fucking. This is, this is the gorilla god has fucking. The gorilla god is, God is fucking. He dropped his whatever. It was liquid. On the there was a fucking blood stained across, giant blood stained across the gorilla's face, and he just looked up. Not even dazed. We all looked in horror as the gorilla, with the streak of blood on him, got first blood and didn't even blink. 4 more Latinx members, Latinx, I think that's what they want to be called, Latinx. 4 more Latinx members go to surround the beast and start kicking in a wild series of punches. Right, they're kicking for their fallen Mexican brother. They're kicking and punching, and these are flurry, rapid punches. Right, as one gets swiped off, right, the gorilla swipes one off. As he's flying through the air, another one comes and replaces and takes him. On all sides, the gorilla's trying its best to counter it, right? But it's getting a hit, right? Just berating this gorilla, right? He's trying to block, he's trying to counter punch, but as much he's just wildly swinging, and these guys are fast. They're moving out of the way, right? These guys are quick. Now, one guy gets swatted to oblivion, right? He's flying. Another guy takes his place. It's rinse and repeat. You go through about the gorilla essentially killed about. He's at this point, his body count's about 6, but these guys keep flurrying away, and then the gorillas. You can see the gorilla getting a little bit overwhelmed at this point. The gorilla kind of gives a little. A frustrated sigh at this point. We're getting something. We're getting to them. We're getting it. At this point, you can see him. I think it starts to break a sweat, right? These guys are fueled. Like, these Mexicans are fueled by nothing but rage, and also the music that was playing on the speakers. We had Kanye West doing our battle music, like the drummer boys in War, but he was dressed up in that Mad Max outfit where the guy was playing the guitar, and those singers, right? He was dressed up in that garb, but with Nazi face paint, right? Swastikas all over him, styled in the style of Braveheart, right? But it was just red. And he was just saying, I gave my cousin head, and let's give my cousin head, I give my cousin head. He was just saying that. He was just literally doing that one song on repeat. We paid him $17 million for that. It was worth it. It was worth every penny. But he refused. He said, for the price point you're getting, I'm refusing to change the set list. I'm only doing new material. He's like, this is all I got. This is all I got, people. Anyways, still amazing. He can't do no wrong. He makes really good music, so he's allowed to say some of the most craziest shit that's humanly possible. And he's famous, and we know him, right? So, anyways, the gorilla was taking hits at this point, right? We watched him just stand there absorbing shots left and right. His head is down, right? And we go, is he done? Like, is this beast about to hit the ground? Right? Is he all wobbly? But he was calm as ever. He was looking down, absorbing the punches. Head down, and all we thought to ourselves, we thought, we can win this. The guy's dropped his hands, right? His whole 6-month training camp out the window. The gorilla jumped up out of nowhere, right? And punched the ground, sending at least 20 men. It's a shockwave of 20 men, all near to fall to the ground. Right. This is essentially like a mini earthquake. Right. The men that were close enough got hit with it and were left with similar effects to a flashbang. The others left off balance, right? We were dazed and confused. We looked on in amazement as the gorilla starts rhythmically beating his chest. A guy next to me asked, "What the fuck is this gorilla doing?" Right? I looked on in horror, put my head in my hands, and went, "He's powering up. 70% speed, 70 plus speed, 50 plus strength, 80 plus intelligence. Good Lord." He goes apeshit. He grabs one guy by the neck and just squeezes it so hard, like it looked like it was a champagne bottle cork, and it popped off. He just squeezed the guy's neck and a head popped off like a fucking a champagne bottle. It was crazy. One guy tried to fly bicycle kick him. Right, the ape catches the guy midair. He jumps up midair, catches the guy trying to bicycle kick him. He puts him on his knees, cracks his back. Guy is basically like he's basically like one of those, he's just now a whip. He just starts, whipping, a bunch of guys coming at him, right? At this point, we've sent at least 20 men just gone down the drain. The lightweight division's over. We're now calling in the big boys. We're talking these heavyweights. We're talking these guys that are fucking big body motherfuckers, right? They're talking to big dudes. We're bringing in big motherfuckers, right? But these are big dummies. These are like guys that are just big for the sake of, the bouncer motherfuckers. Those, those big guys that, that haven't really, football linebacker, or not linebackers, offensive line. We're getting the big bodies, and these big motherfuckers come running in like the mountain and shit. Boom, 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 boom. But the gorilla shrugs his shoulders, right, and just starts hitting, because he still has the little guy. He just starts hitting the motherfuckers, clearing a path, right, doing. He'll fucking. He threw the guy off, and multiple motherfuckers fell down. The gorilla then jumps up and fucking and flips over one guy trying to tackle him. The gorilla then, while he's trying to tackle him, rolling over him, he grabs him like a basketball. Right, when the guys go dunking through the legs, he's in midair with with a basketball. Right, puts him in between his legs. He wraps his little fucking gorilla legs underneath him. He triangle chokes the guy, lands on his knees. Guy's fucking head pops off like a cork. Guy's head pops off like a cork. His head is now like a battering ram almost. His head's like a battering ram. Fucking hits the next guy. Right, guy fucking pails over, dies. Right, pails over, hits stomach, and basically like when what's his name? Houdini got punched. You could die from a punch in the gut. Right, fuck up your organs, and this head was flying off the guy's body at Mach 2 essentially. Right, now we're talking these big bodies. Right, then now. We got these guys. The fucking he clears another line of guys. Right, we're now 30 deep. Right, we're looking at the rest of the 30 deep of deaths. Right, 70% of us are starting to look like, yo, he's running through these guys like nothing. Right, we're looking like this is insane. Right around the fucking the 35th death. Right, we're talking We send in the Hulk, which essentially is just fucking the Hulkamania, the old guy, right? This motherfucker, right? This motherfucker starts, chanting. This guy goes like this, right? To the fucking the gorilla. We're talking, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, motherfucker, does the ear thing, right? For the people that are just listening, I was fucking, I was doing the ear. I was doing his whatever call. But essentially, he did that to the gorilla, right? The gorilla fucking takes his arm, rips his ear, grabs him by the ear. You know what I mean? And then just fucking just twirls him in the air and throws him so far, right? He throws him so far. He throws the Hulkamania, right? So far that the kids in the stands lower their Hulk things, right? This guy's not coming back. He threw him off the planet, right? It's craziest shit ever, right? The gorilla, we're sending in wrestlers after wrestlers, right? But we threw in the Rock, right? The Rock comes running out, right? The Rock, smart, right? He's like, man, fuck this shit, right? He said to himself, he's like, this nigga powered up, right? We're not using no power-ups. This motherfucker hit a cheat code. Motherfucker, The Rock picks up a giant cinder block, right? You know what I'm saying? And then just fucking heave-hose it. Fucking, does that fucking... When they do in that, like, the shot put thing, where they gotta spin up around. No, it's not really shot put, I don't know. It's like a big... When we're doing... The shot put with the ball, though, but he has a cinder block. Essentially, we're tied to a piece of rope, and he's spinning up, and we're like, dude, we're looking at the refs looking at... The refs looking like, I'm not too sure if I can disqualify this yet, right? Rules. He goes and spins the cinder block, and the fucking gorilla, he's too busy out there, smashing like fucking just throwing dudes off. The Rock is off in the side. He's fucking charging up his power. The Rock throws a giant rock, essentially, cinder block, smashes the back of the fucking gorilla's head, right? And the ref's like, you can call, the ref is slid in now to see if the if he's gonna fall, right? If this beast fall. At this point, we're just trying to knock this nigga down before we just need a knockout. We just need a knockdown at least. We're going for points. We need to knock this nigga out, right? And then fucking gut him afterwards. So the ref's asking, "Are you okay?" The guy goes, the gorilla waves him off, right? He's like, "No, let's keep going. Like, I'm not calling it, right? No DQ, no disqualification." He eats the fucking back of the head cinder block, right? But he's at this point, right? 35 deaths in, this guy's in a cinder block thrown by The Rock. This guy, we can see that he's getting his little sunken eyed, you know what I mean? But he's still like angry fighting, but it's a little bit more wild. His training goes through falling by the wayside. He's just now instinctually picking up dudes, you know what I mean? Squeezing them, picking them up by the ribs and squeezing them like toothpaste, a tube of toothpaste, right? He's yogurting the guys, just the tubes of yogurt, and he's just squirting them out. Their insides just popping out, right? He's angry though, but dazed. So it's a blind fury, right? And The Rock's coming up, and The Rock goes, you know what I mean? Me and you one-on-one, right? The Rock is pushing guys out of the way, right? Bodies and he's stepping over, corpses. Because at this point, there's one of the 15 people gone, right? In between him hitting and walking up through the battle scene, because the gorilla is just fucking, punching guys out of the way. They clear a path. We clear a path. Everybody clears the path. There's a big circle around. Now this fucking, they start eyeing each other up. The Rock and the gorilla. The Rock, I don't know. Maybe he's about half. He's about 280, 300. I don't know. The motherfucker's big, 300 for muscle. The gorilla looks at this guy like where'd this nigga come from, right? Like, where'd y'all boys genetically modify an ape with a human? The ape's confused, right? But he knows that he hit him with a fucking cinder block. So you got, you know what I mean? So the gorilla charges at him on all fours, right? The Rock, genius. He fucking slides, you know what I mean? He does the slide thing, right? Like what they do in WWE, and then mimicking the ropes, he goes off to the side, you know, off to the, you know, the people on the sides, because we formed a circle, and they pushed the gorilla back into him, right? It took a lot of people to push that gorilla, right, to mimic the force. And then the Rock lies down on his stomach. The gorilla jumps over the thing. He bounces essentially back off of the people. Then he goes for a punch, and the Rock grabs him in the position of the rock bottom, because his shoulder flung over his other shoulder. He's got him, and he about to pick up the fucking gorilla, and the gorilla just stops him. Can't pick him up, and he goes to the crowd, right? Crowd of everybody watching. He goes, no. He does the no. Dikembe Mutombo popularized the finger wave, saying no. But the gorilla essentially does that. No. And he brings out his arm and DDTs the Rock right into the ground. His head is stuck, right? The Rock's head is stuck in the ground. We were in a field, right? So it's like ground, grass, and dirt. His head's stuck in the dirt, and he's trying to pull himself out, right? And this was like, the gorilla was very respectful in terms of the one-on-one in the 100 man fight. The gorilla came with poise and posture, to be honest, right? Humanity could learn a thing or two about this gorilla, but it's probably lost on the wayside because we're really tribal people. Either way, as the Rock is sitting there with his head dug into the ground, he can't breathe, right? His whole head is just essentially in the ground, you know, and he's trying to pull himself out. And the gorilla, you know, as more guys came, the gorilla goes, "Don't interfere into the fight," right? He just more growling, aggressive growling. You know what I mean? He throws the guys off, and he lets the Rock die. The Rock, craziest shit ever. So you don't hear it from the Rock anymore. The Rock's literally, you know, he died in the field. It was he's suffocating. He suffocated. Craziest way to go in a gorilla fight, right? Suffocation. This gorilla at this point, it's got 55 bodies, right? This point, we're at less than what we start. We're less than half of what we started with, right? Now, at this point, right, I'm in the back I have my feet up essentially, drinking lemonade. And I go, I don't want to be the last guy. I got very like in a fuck it mode. I've seen enough death. It doesn't bother me anymore. I'm tired of watching these motherfuckers struggle. I'm gonna get shit done. Today's the day Jay shines, right? Mediumjay will fucking take over, right? Cash Leaders, Mediumjay, Spotify, YouTube. Check out the podcast as well. I do Twitch gaming. I said all of this before I ran into the guy next to me. He goes, "I'll try to remember that, buddy, but right now I'm shitting myself." That's what he said. Anyways, I go to run into the thing, right? The gorilla's busy fucking mauling he's mauling Jason Samoa, right? I come in, clock him in the back of the head, right? I just clocked him, right? I just clocked him in the back of the head. He turns around. As he turned around, I give another right hand right to the fucking nose, right? Fucking busted his nose out. His big gorilla nose, the nose that's all pushed in anyways. But it starts bleeding, and one drop of blood comes down from the fucking. This is the first time we've seen the gorilla bleed in these games, right? Got hit with the back of the head with a cinder block, flurry of kicks and punches. Everybody's trying their best. I'm the only guy that made him draw the blood first, right? I'm that nigga. I clocked him, right? And I sat there going like, yeah. Like, what, you know what I mean? This fucking gorilla looked down, wiped the blood, looked at it, and went, huh. Now it's my turn. Plain English. This guy, how the fuck did this gorilla know English, right? I don't know. It is the craziest shit ever, right? He just fucking wipes the blood off and goes, now it's my turn. Perfect English, right? Didn't even stutter, no accent. It's crazy. Crazy English, right? Anyways, he said, now it's my turn. And he comes rushing at me, right? And I'm trying my best, right? But he's throwing a combination that would make Mike Tyson worried, right? This motherfucker was left, right, left, arm, leg, head. He did leg punches, right? Which not many people utilize in the UFC. A leg punch, right? Leg kicks are intense, but imagine a giant punch to the knee. Just buckle them near their knees, right? Just get them on that weak part of their fucking side of their knees. Just gone, man. Just put it out of place. A nice, well-timed leg punch, right? This gorilla was utilizing it, which often was the difference when he took on these UFC fighters. That he was just fucking demolishing them, thinking outside the box on animal instinct, right? Decimating me, completely, right? And as I'm fucking trying to block, trying to throw counter punches, he's just absorbing them, right? At this point, I'm throwing nothing. I'm throwing basically pillows because I'm too busy and getting counter punched and afraid at this point. And I got nothing, right? I'm fucking. At this point, I'm on my one knee like I'm Iron Man, and I'm sitting there going like, this might be the end. I'm just getting, taking damage, right? Jarvis, you know what I mean? Tell my wife I love her. It was bad. And as I'm on my knees, the gorilla just looks at me and fucking puts his two fists together, and my head explodes. My head just he punched my head and he takes his fists away, and my head was basically like the end of the end of like a chip bag where it's just crinkled up. That was and you put it sideways so you get to look at it like 2D kind of thing. That was my crinkled head, bone, brain stem. And I died, guys. I died. It was craziest shit ever, right? So at this point, right, the gorilla's at like 69 deaths. Nice. You know what I mean? 69. Nice. But he's body count, right? So we got about we got 31 men left, right? The 31 men look at each other, and these were the guys out the gate, right? Well, the one guy, 30. We had 30 reserve, like army. UFC champions, rest of the line motherfuckers. But there was also one guy that was also kind of. He was the I guess mid tier of what we were saving for, right? He wasn't beginner, he was intermediate. But one guy with the expert motherfuckers, and that one guy, you know what I mean, looking, and then knowing that he's the last guy that is in his thing with some sort of bravado, right? He took off his gi. Right? He was one of those guys with a gi. Took off his gi, making it harder for the gorilla to grab him. He took it off, and he starts running, right? He runs towards the gorilla. The gorilla, and drops the last lifeless body. Most likely my lifeless body, drops it. All right, I'm dead, guys. At this point, I'm dead. Don't forget, I'm dead, guys. I'm dead. And my head crinkled up like a bag of ruffles. I'm gone. Right. This again is a real podcast that we tell nothing but the truth here. I died. Right. Craziest shit ever. It was crazy dying, by the way. It's crazy having a head like a bag of empty ruffled chips. Craziest shit ever. Anyways, I'm dead. Right. He drops my lifeless body. My soul floats up into the atmosphere or whatever it happens. I essentially am dead, and the gorilla's mad. The gorilla, but this other guy's running towards. The guy's running towards him. Right at this point, right. The gorilla and the guy that had a gi that just took it off, right, and he has a nice he has a yin and a yang, right over his left breast, right, which is come on, man, it's kind of on the nose, right, yin and yang. You're not even Japanese, right? That type of motherfucker comes in and does a karate kick, right? He does a karate kick, and this karate kick fucking was so out of the wheelhouse of what the gorilla, I was gonna say jujitsu something, but I don't know. The gorilla expected. The gorilla did not expect this. Out of left field, because as he was running, he went to go grab. And the guy pulled out a fucking flying karate kick. And this stunned him worse than the concrete, stunned him worse than me punching him, stunned him. This was the actual stun that had him wobbly and shaking, right? And the guy looks, and everybody's like, go finish, man. Go finish, right? We're cheering them on because the guys are it's essentially like an elimination chamber, right? We had guys under glass, you know what I mean? And we couldn't just, to make it fair, the gorilla had to take on a minimum of 30 people at a time, right? Either way, still a fight. A fight's a fight. And plus, I mean, after 30 people surrounded, you can't really fight. But either way, the experts were watching in anticipation as this guy from Missouri, right? A small guy from Missouri started getting into jiu-jitsu and putting on gis or whatever the hell you do with a gi. Some sort of taekwondo. I'm dead anyways, guys. So the vision of I'm still watching, spectating, but it's a kill cam, so I don't get the best camera angles of watching it. Right? I'm not alive. I'm dead. So I'm also like getting visions from once you're dead, you get to see everyone else being dead, and there's a lot of motherfuckers floating around, right? Craziest shit. Anyways, it was hard to focus on the battle with my newly acquired afterlife. But so the gorilla gets stunned, right? And everyone's telling the fucking guy with the fucking shitty yin yang tattoo, finish him. The people for the first time get on their feet in rally, right? All of the people in the stands, right? The apes now have gone quiet, right? There was a lot of yelling, a lot of shit throwing, a lot of bananas being tossed onto the 100 men. For the first time ever, the apes are worried, right? The referee about to step in. He's watching the legs. Now, the guy threw 1, 2, kick, punch, 1, 2. He threw a combination that you could predict. He threw, and as a mediocre guy, an intermediate, he wasn't even a purple belt. This guy was like orange, right? Horrible. He threw a combination that, while in recovery being stunned, the gorilla half-ass was blocking it, to the point where he goes to throw a rib kick, the gorilla grabs him, and he throws another. After being countered, the gorilla has his one leg. He goes to throw another kick. The gorilla grabs him, and now he has both of his legs, and he's completely plateaued flat because he's somehow working on his core at this point in the middle of a gorilla fight. But he's essentially planking in midair with the gorilla holding him. And the gorilla starts swinging him. The gorilla starts circling around. And at this point, right, it becomes a blur. You can't see anything. He circles around, and he's spinning him so fast that the G force alone rips his torso out of his leg sockets. He spins him around so fast, right? So fast that his legs just fall. It's just the sockets. It's like, what does that even mean? I don't know. I was dead at the time. His legs are fucking sockets at this point, right? Nothing. He throws his sockety legs. His legs. I meant to say sausage. His legs are just sausage. But sockets is so much dumber. His legs are sockets. But okay, at this point, right? Okay, don't write anything down after this point. His legs are just sockets, right? The experts now rush him, right? The experts now, the cage has been lifted, the Iron Dome, they're allowed to go in. At this point, right, Kanye West is still singing, I gave my cousin, but at this, it's like one of those, like the band stopped playing the beat, which was just a beat. Dave Blunt stopped doing backup ad-libs because and Kanye West is kind of like still like in a mid. I gave my cut. He's looking around like, yo, we gotta, motherfuckers. Like what happens after this? Like, what's going on? Like, everyone was waiting in anticipation. Talking the apex of UFC fighters, right? The Khabibs are running in. Khabib went to go. He grabbed him, right? He had Khabib had the gorilla and took him down. This is the first account of a takedown, right? Khabib, number to get off. He takes double leg sweeps the gorilla, right? The gorilla's essentially was stunned after the karate kick. He grabs the and he starts wrestling him, right? And the ground game this gorilla has was bar none, right? He's on his back. He's not letting Khabib pass guard. He's just getting one leg, and he keeps, it's getting really at this point. Everyone just gets up and goes to the bathroom, right? This is. He's passing guard. He's not passing guard. Oh, he's about to pass guard. He's inside control for a little bit. Tries to get his leg over to go full mount. No, back into full guard. For the technical fans of the ground game and wrestling and grappling, you gotta understand this was amazing. This was a feat to be seen, essentially. But most motherfuckers just care about the stand-up. So, anyways. After 30 minutes of nothing but just, does he almost have it? No, does he have it? No strikes at all. This is just pure wrestling for the sport. The gorilla fucking in full guard, right? He was in full guard. He fucking twists, pops his hips, throws Khabib up, back down. And now, with the power, he was up, threw him in power bombed him, and now he's in fucking full. Wait, he was in full guard. Gorilla was in full guard. He fucking throws him up in midair, power bombs him, and then jumps, passes the guard, and now he's in full mount position, right? The gorilla is fucking smoking him, right? The gorilla's punching the shit out of Khabib. Now, at this point, fucking Bones Jones, fucking Brock Lesnar. No, Brock Lesnar was in the Big Dummy catalog. Bones Jones, Francis Ngannou, right? Bones Jones, Francis Ngannou come up, and they both punch. They both give a solid punch to the, and they hold it, right? They punch the gorilla, and they hold it, right? The gorilla grabs both their necks, double choke slams them, right? Khabib is, in that split second, able to twist his hips, get back control. Now the gorilla's got back, right? But he's gotten kind of to his knees, right? It's like side back control. He's side backing him, right? And the gorilla at this point, in the 6 months of training, hasn't predicted that he's able to now do the Kurt Angle slam, right? When he has side back with because Khabib threw the shoulder though. A wise man would throw his shoulder over and Angle slam him, and then after that take off his tank top to the waist, and then put him into the ankle lock, right? Gorilla couldn't muster that up, so Khabib then gets he somehow got the fucking gorilla in a headlock, right? Now the other Francis Ngannou, Bones Jones, after being chokeslammed, grab one leg each, right? And he's got him by so Khabib's got him by the head, headlocking him. Bones Jones has one leg. This nigga Francis Ngannou has the other leg, and they're tugging at him, right? We're trying to rip this fucking gorilla apart, right? The gorilla, you know what I mean, has one arm free, right? He starts, throwing punches to the Khabib that has him in a headlock, right? He lets him go, right? The gorilla ducking roll with the two niggas that have his legs, ducking roll, but almost like Sonic. Like, what, it was crazy. He punched Khabib off, and in fucking duck and roll Sonic style, flung the guys holding his legs or feet. These guys fly off into the distance, right? These niggas are gone, right? Now at this point, right, we don't have much left. There's about 5 guys left, right? You know, man, 5 guys left, and at this point, they on the microphone, right? Mid, it's Kanye West Cousins album, Scream. In the middle, Kanye West goes, and we like to thank 5 guys for there's 5 guys left, and we like to thank 5 guys, the restaurant, for sponsoring today's event, right? Get yourself a nice fat boy burger at 5 Guys, $2.95. $12.95 for 2 fat boys. You know what I mean? It's like my ex fucking bitch. My ex bitch, she takes 2 fat guys for $12, baby. $12.95. Come get a deal. Anyways, 5 guys left. We're talking. We got Alex Pereira. We got Adesanya, Israel Adesanya. We got a couple other niggas that I don't know. My buddy Taylor will be able to tell you this. So you got to check out his MMA Journal Canada podcast, because he'll give the other 3 fighters that are best right now. Possibly, what's his name? Strickland. I don't know. He's got his ass whooped. Poirier. I don't know. One of those guys that it's tough to pronounce their names, so I never really bothered to keep up with them. But either way, the three guys get smoked, right? Like the gorilla doesn't give a fuck. He just fucking smokes them, right? We got two men left, Alex Pereira and Izzy Adesanya. Izzy, you know what I mean? Izzy, looks over to Pereira. They give each other one final hug, right? Foes now fighting together on the common good. Alex Pereira goes 1 second. Takes off his imaginary bows that he had and gives them 3 single bows and goes, I know what you could do, kid. And Izzy goes, yes. Izzy comes out. He's spinning back kicks the gorilla. Crazy. Gorilla ribs bruised slightly, right? Afterwards, the doctors, the medical staff on scene, the bruised ribs of the gorilla. The gorilla's clutching his ribs. Adesanya starts fucking, starts teeing off on the bruised gorilla. The gorilla collapses. Izzy's kicking, punching. Alex Pereira has his hands, has his arms folded, watching in anticipation, right? Everybody is on their edge of their seat. Monkey, human. This is the first time definitively the ref pulls off and stops stops the Izzy and goes, this is it. He's calling it. The gorilla puts his hand up, right? And the ref comes over and goes, no, you want to keep going? All right, I'm starting the count. He goes, 10. And the gorilla gets, he starts putting his 9. And the gorilla fucking shakes up and he collapses back on himself. 8. And the gorilla fucking, in a deep breath, 7. 6. Gorilla fucking puts his hand on his knee, shimmies back onto his feet. Everybody's stunned. Izzy at this point, his jaw is fucking touched. He's hit the floor, right? He can't believe what's going on. He gave everything he had, right? As one final look out to the crowd, he points to Alex Pereira's son, and he shoots the arrow at Alex Pereira's son, signifying that the arrows were his dad's arrows, right? To keep the last arrow. Because he already hit him with 2 arrows. He hit that gorilla with everything he's got. And the last one, he could have saved to give him the imaginary arrow. Oh, no. Actually, he doesn't do... Guys, sorry, I forgot. I was dead, by the way, so I forgot what happened. He takes the last arrow that he has. Instead of using it on the gorilla, he arrows himself so that he won't feel the rest of this. What's going to happen? Because the gorilla comes and rips him in half. Like nothing, right? But the gorilla at this point is fucking exhausted. It ran through 90. It got hit multiple times. The fur's all tufted. Blood all around. Clogs his eyes. Sweat. Blood dripping from his eyes. At this point, Alex Pereira takes off his robes, right? Alex Pereira comes down from the magical, from the... like Xerxes from... Because Alex Pereira was in the crowd. He was signing autographs. He comes down, touching all the women, right? Takes off his chains. I don't know if he actually does. I'm just setting him. This is what he was like. Comes down, and at this point, right, the gorilla's fucking exhausted, right? But the gorilla's still standing, right? The gorilla swings. Alex Pereira counter. Stays out of reach. He's just staying out of reach. Brilliant fighter. One of the best fighters ever. He keeps leg kicking the gorilla, right? Craziest, most eventful thing that you could ever see. For about 30 minutes. He stays out of pocket for the gorilla, right? And leg kicks him, right? leg kicks him. And at this, for the technical fighter, loving it. Leg kicks are doing damage. Most people at this point are also getting a drink. You know what I mean? They're getting. Some people are like, it's over, game's over, right? Calling it. I'm before everyone's exiting the parking lot. I'm hopping in the car, right? I'm getting out before, right? There's people leaving the stands because he's just leg kicking, right? He just keeps leg kicking him, right? And they're like, all right, it's only a matter of time before the guy's legs give out, right? Terrible, terrible way to end a fight. He keeps leg kicking him, right? He keeps leg kicking him. The gorilla falls down in one heave, right? Leg kick.